Honestly, this thing that is coming to Texas is really scary because a lot of people have gone directly to explain one or two things that a lot of persons are not even aware of. And guys, I want you guys to watch this video from beginning to the end and let me know what your take is. I don't know if you guys know that this particular thing is happening right now, and their plan is for Texas to have this particular thing. And guys, it's quite scary for me, but maybe I'm overreacting. Just let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode, and subscribe, like, comment and share. And guys, let's go watch. I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go.
I am actually on site at this facility, this new 15-minute city that they're building. And as I told you guys in the previous post, I own a trucking company, and my purpose of being here is that we deliver the lighting for this place. And this is how I learned that this place actually existed. So these are the lights that I bring here every week, twice a week, for this monstrosity of a complex. So it's just not I'm getting pictures from somebody else. This is actually a real place that I'm at. This is in Frisco, Texas.
How will they be able to accomplish the 15-minute city plan if everybody disagrees with what they're doing? Well, they will actually put lock steps into place first before they enact the 15-minute city. And usually they will either do it with a pandemic or a climate change lockdown. So the first step to the 15-minute cities is to introduce digital IDs. That's where they take all of our IDs, everything that you live off of, and they centralize it in one ID where one entity can just shut it off. So now they can control you through that way. But you still have the ability to move and go and buy whatever you want. Next step is CBDCs, which is the central bank digital currencies, which means they can see every single thing that you purchase. So instead of going to the store and them just seeing you spent $150 at the store, they will be able to see everything that you bought. Then they will enact carbon credits on food, travel, airplanes, hotels. Like you've already seen it. If you go and book an airplane or if you go book a hotel room or whatever. And in the UK now they're introducing carbon credits on food labels so that you can get trained on what a carbon credit looks like. Then they will either enact another pandemic or a climate change lockdown through bullshit science. And because all the countries already signed the WHO pandemic treaty, we all have to be in line with what they want, and they will shut you down in those 15-minute cities. Now, if your mayor has signed on to the 15-minute cities and has received funding so that your place becomes a 15-minute city, you will see a lot more cameras around in your area, and it will be the perimeter of the 15-minute city. And now that you're digitalized completely, meaning you need your phone just to go scan something, you need your phone just to have the digital ID, just to have the CBDCs, now you have something called a wearable. And they will probably make wearables even more prominent so that you can be tracked. So now if you cross over a certain line, those cameras can catch you. And now you're in an area that you shouldn't be. And that is how they will enact the 15-minute cities. Now, let's say you live on the West End and you work on the East End and you're like, how will I get there? Well, first, they will see if you can work from home. If you can, you're working from home. If you can't, you can go on UBI, Universal Basic Income, because they want everybody on a welfare state because AI is taking most of our jobs. And if you can't and you're useful, you will get a pass. And that pass will allow you to go to work and from work, and that's it. You're not allowed to stop anywhere. You will need permission for that. And they will literally use this kind of logic in the name of climate science or whatever else that they come up with. That's all bullshit. Does that kind of make a little bit more sense? Which is why we're all talking about how dangerous these lock steps are for them to finally get their end goal, which is to imprison humanity into 15-minute cities.
They don't want us using cars. They've told us this. They want us to sell our cars. They want us to use our bikes. They want us to be in 15-minute cities, as they're called, where we just walk everywhere. We don't drive anywhere. We don't drive 45 minutes or beyond 15 minutes to see family and friends. We stop using fossil fuels, hydrocarbons, etc. We turn to wind and solar, and we work from home. And we use digital currency so they can track and watch everything that we do. That's what they want. If you haven't heard of 15-minute cities, let me explain. The idea is that everything you need, your job, your grocery store, your entertainment, your education, should all be within a 15-minute walk. You don't need to drive a car. Your carbon footprint is too much. You will scan your ID walking along, so we will know all about your movements, your carbon footprint. It will reduce climate change. You won't be driving any kind of fossil fuel car. It all sounds so convenient, right? But here's the thing. This isn't about walkable communities at all. It's all about control. And this is exactly what the World Economic Forum wants. You can read all about 15-minute cities right on the World Economic Forum's own website. I encourage you all to go to their website and do it. I won't bore you with it right now. But they actively promote it and they actively want it.
This is what I mean, ladies and gentlemen, about a smart city.
Then you will arrive at your destination.
These apartment complexes will have everything that you need. Grocery store, daycare center, hair salons, you name it, it's gonna be here. Doctors, you name it. So you really have no reason to go anywhere else. And as I said before in other posts, they want you comfortable being uncomfortable. Look at this project.
The 15-minute cities, they will.
They did not want me to make this video, but it's important, so listen up, pay attention. The Mandelson scandal, forget about that, forget about it. It's important for another reason I'll talk about it in a separate video, but that's not the whole point. The whole point is just a smoke screen. Like anytime shit pops off, always think, okay, what else is going on that nobody's talking about? What is significant that they're hiding from us? And this one is absolutely massive. This one changes your whole bloody life. Like, that's why I'm shouting, because it's so fucking important. Like, oh my God, 15-minute cities is in effect, came in effect in February of this year. So just a couple weeks ago, rolled out in Oxford. Not one news outlet. I have scoured the internet, but we'll talk about this. None. I see it nowhere. Crickets. Like it's been said about the fact that in effect in the United Kingdom, this boggles my mind, people, boggles my bloody mind, is that there are 6 streets in the centre of Oxford, which obviously some of them include the residential street. Residents have to apply for a permit. You have got 100 visits per year. Outsiders have 25. And once those have been used up, you have got to, listen to me, you've got to find an alternative route. Like, if that's not total authoritarianism, I don't know what is. These will be controlled by the license plate recognition cameras, so the AI cameras. Oh, you guys are not talking, you guys are not. Oh my God, this boils my blood. Boils my bloody blood. I am bubbling right now, and if you're not bubbling, then you don't like your life. Like, everything's about to change and nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing anything. Like, how can this be? Are you mad? Oh my God. You can only travel a certain road. You have to apply for permission. And listen to this. It's only 30% of people that don't drive in Oxford. So what happened to the other 70%? They're like, oh, we need to make it more accessible for the 30%. What? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's worth the fact that we're going to be coming straight for it. It's worth it. If this site, listen, go look it up. Go look it up. Don't let these people mug you off, because they're mugging us off. I recorded a 6-minute video talking about all of this, naming all the streets and going over all the stuff. It's gone from my phone. Oh, it is gone from my phone. Yesterday's video could not be found. Look into my deleted notes there. I recorded the video. It was about a 6-minute video. We all know how I can waffle, like talk. I recorded, I went bit by bit. I thought, cool, I need to edit this down and make it about 2 minutes or so. My video was gone, people. Video no longer there. Completely gone.
Hi everybody. Right, well, as you'll see, this is the equipment that's been fitted by councils across the country. This is showing us, we've had a whistleblower sent us the information, and obviously we've got a box delivered by a whistleblower at one of the councils, alright? Because obviously the people are very concerned in the lighting departments about what this equipment is, and I've been asked to actually review it. Because this is a weapon system, alright? It's nothing more than a weapon. Now, I know it's masquerading as a light, but it's a weapon. Alright, so let's just show you. Let's just break this whole thing down and show people what this is. Alright? I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to take this piece, this antenna piece to pieces. Alright, people have seen it before, they've seen the breakdown. Alright, let's just unloosen this piece here. Alright, let's just break this down and let's show people what this is. Alright, this is the Harvard piece of technology. Obviously, that's the antenna. That's a scanner, it's radar. It's a radar piece of equipment. You can see that. This has got the 450 volt capacitor on it. And you see the cabling. It's really important to see that cabling. This is the delivery system, alright? This is an extremely dangerous piece of hardware. This is a single element and they're 31,875. A lot of people making complaints to the council now and making complaints where they're being lied to on a regular basis about this technology. So the councils are lying about what this is. Let's just show people this is not a dipole antenna. Look, it's a high gain dielectric lens antenna. Alright, it's in a little bit better shape than the other one that was shown the video on, but that is an illegal piece of equipment. It's not a Part 15 FCC approved piece of equipment. This can target acquire. It's radar. That's a scanner. Alright, it's a scanning antenna. They are illegal. Anybody thinks that councils have the right to scan into your home are mistaken. That's an offence in law. Alright, let's just pop that back, because people have seen that breakdown before and they've also seen this breakdown before. What's really important is to have a look at this bit of hardware. Now this box is actually being made so you can't get into it. Alright, it's a sealed unit which has had to be taken to pieces. Obviously we've got to be careful with this because it's got to get sent back, because it's got to go back in the stores. What I'm going to show people, this is the hardware, this is the delivery system, this is coming from these units here. This is the delivery system to the weapon, alright? That's the delivery system to the weapon. This is the cabling, because I've had a couple of foolish people, absolute ignorance. That's the cabling to the LED streetlights, as you'll see they're very thin. They're not that thin because they don't carry a great deal of power. And they won't burn out. However, this piece of cabling is pretty powerful stuff. And it has to be because you've got a 450 volt capacitor in this bit, but you've also got a number of 450 volt capacitors on the board. These are not for the LEDs. This is the LED delivery system here. Alright? There's transformers on here to reduce the power going to these small cables which fit into this for the LEDs. Alright? You do not need this type of capacity. Only a fool, only a very, very ignorant fool would even pretend that this is some type of ballast. Alright? These are LEDs for the ignorant. This isn't the fluorescent lamp needing ballast to put a lot of energy in. We all know that LEDs operate on very, very small amounts of energy. So they do not need. So this is a step down to these small cables. However, this is a step up to this delivery system, because obviously if you're going to use a weapon, it needs to have a bit of poke, it needs to have a bit of power about it. Alright? So that fits to there. This then goes to this, and obviously that's the 450 volt capacitor. Alright? You've seen it in the close-up breakdowns before, and this is the weapons delivery system. Alright? That's the high gain antenna, illegal high gain antenna. Number of people have contacted Northumbria Police about the genocide that's been committed on the people in Gateshead as we speak. Lots of people. So we'll be progressing that, because I was called by Northumbria Police about this, and obviously I'm still waiting for a senior investigating officer to contact me about this weaponry and how outrageous this is that a council can fit an unregulated, untested, illegal piece of equipment on a bit of street lighting. You've got to remember, Schrader have their own controller. It's not Harvard. You've got a totally different controller to that. It was called Owlet. It's not this. This is a weapon system. That's the difference. It's not for controlling the lights, and that's why the lights are on all the time. But here's the other part of a weapon. I'm going to show you in here. These are bare elements. These are focused lenses. Alright? Now focused lenses, see the small cables? Don't need a lot of power. Not like the delivery system for the weapon. Alright? For the antenna. It's a weapon. These are very small cables because these do not need a lot of power. They don't need anything near 450 volts or a 3,300 watt relay. Anybody that says that is either a liar, a fool, or just indoctrinated to the point where really that's pretty useless. These are bare elements. There is no protection, there's no diffuser. These are illegal. These are a category 2 optical radiation emission system. They're lenses, so what they do, that creates a focus point. These are basically lasers. So that bank of lasers there, in the 450, 460 nanometers, these are phosphor coated, and that phosphor wears off over time. So these become more toxic. They become more toxic, and they will kill. They'll blind people. They cause retinal cell stress, retina cell death, and they will blind an awful lot of people if they don't wear protective eyewear. Alright? So this is the equipment. This is a blatant weapons program. It is not a street light. These are not incandescent lights. These are part of a weapons program. Make no mistake about it. And we can prove it. Fortunately, we have the evidence now. The actual undisputed evidence of this equipment being here to do harm to the citizen and not, as we've been told, like, that's why the lights are rubbish. That's why everybody doesn't like them. That's why they're putting them up on motorways. These are part of the smart city agenda. This is a radar scanner. So when it sees you coming, it can actually increase or reduce the pulse rate. That pulse rate modulation called flicker modulation can be weaponized. It can be strobed and it can be weaponized at any particular time through this equipment. Now, they're now replacing it for something that's not as blatantly a weapon. Alright, they're replacing it now with some other piece of equipment at a multi-million pound deployment equipment that's just not as obviously a weapon as this is, and that's the reason for the cover-up. So this is evidence for the courts to show that Gateshead Council and others are trying to commit genocide on the people. I'm still waiting for Northumbria Police's senior investigating officers to come and see me so I can avail them of all the information in relation to the assault and the harm that this is going to be caused to the people. This is unbelievable. This is uninsurable technology, right? Councils have a duty of care to the people. This is untested, unproven, experimental in breach of the Nuremberg Code. This is absolutely outrageous how this has actually ended up happening. And what we must do, people have to get involved, wake others up. This is not what you're being told it is, or what the people who are fitted have been told. Because not only have they been misinformed, everybody else has. And the no risk.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and you guys have literally seen every single clip I was able to roll out for you guys about this 15-minute city of a thing that they are trying to establish or they are trying to build. Now let's expatiate a little bit. Where the 15-minute city is an urban planning. For those ones that don't have the idea, maybe this is the first time that you're literally coming across this video, that purpose that That purpose is that people should be able to meet most of their daily needs within a 15-minute walk or bike ride from where they live. It is not a single global project or law, but a planning concept that many cities have adopted in different ways. Where did this idea come from? Now, the concept became widely known through Carlos Moreno, a professor who introduced the idea around 2016. He urged that cities should be designed around people rather than cars. The COVID-19 pandemic increased interest in the concept because many people experience the benefit of having essential services close to home. Now let's talk about the 6 basic needs according to them that is reflecting on these 15-minute city plans. Okay, a true 15-minute city plan aims to make this available within a short distance. 1. Housing, safe and affordable homes. 2. Work, office, remote work hubs or local businesses. 3. Food, grocery stores, markets, restaurants. 4. Healthcare, where clinics, pharmacy and hospitals. 5. Education, where schools, libraries and learning centers. Then recreation, where parks, gyms, sports facilities and entertainment. All these will be in the environment, and within 15 minutes you should be able to get anything without driving. Just a walkthrough, that's all. Nobody want to stress. Cars should be abolished. That is their main game plan. But the question is, how does it work? Imagine someone living in the neighborhood. Within 15 minutes they can walk to their children's schools, they can buy grocery, they can visit a doctor, they can go to work, a co-work space, exercise in the park, eat at the restaurants, pick up medicine, meet friends. The goal, according to them, is conveniency and not preventing travel. Now, what are the main goals? Supporters said the ideas aim at reducing traffic congestion, low air population, encourage walking and recycling, improve physical health, strengthen local businesses, reduce community times, increase community interaction, improve quality of life. What changes are these usually made? Where cities implement the idea, often build more bikes lane, improve sidewalk, add public parks, encourage mixed use building like homes above shops, for example, improve public transport, create a safer street, support neighborhood business, reduce dependence on private cars in some areas. Now, several cities has incorporated elements of this concept, which include Paris, Melbourne, Poland, Barcelona, Copenhagen, and now Texas, right? Each has implemented different policy rather than following the universal model. Many people now, common disadvantages that will literally go into this: people will be locked inside their neighborhood. There is no evidence that the 15-minute concept itself requires people to stay within a 15-minute area. The plan idea is about making nearby service available and also restricting movement. People remain free not to travel from work, vacation, shops or other reasons. Government will need permission system to leave neighborhoods. Cars will be banned. Then when we come to this other end, where we see where not many people, in fact a lot of people, do not even support it because they know that it may be difficult to implement, blah blah blah. The approach may not work equally well in rural or low density area. Restriction on vehicle access is a certain area can inconvenience some drivers, while some businesses might be affected by changes of traffic east, west, north and south. So it's just a whole lot if you want to read their articles and what actually they are going to contribute and what they are going to be minusing from the society at large. But if you listen to what every single person is about to say, has said in this video, most of the things, I think, I don't know how to categorically state it out here, but I think it's very scary. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and credit to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks. Also join my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys.